Hello everyone, it's your favorite realtor, Erica Hernandez with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, Gary Green. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. It was 4th of July weekend. I heard so many fireworks starting from Thursday and Friday and Saturday. I think the end of it was last night. I still heard a few fireworks. People must have had so many fireworks that they kept popping them. Or some people didn't have those days off, so they celebrated on the weekend, which is also fine too. I hope whatever you did, you stayed safe, you had a good time, and you're ready to get back to work and have a productive week. Alright guys, so it's Monday and back to my Monday videos, and hopefully today's video helps you out and keeps you a little more educated on real estate. The topic for today is tips to have a smooth real estate transaction. If you would like to learn more, please stay tuned. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Erica Houston Realtor on Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram, and go to my website at www.erikahoustonrealtor.com. Alright guys, let's get right into the video. So for today's topic, I'm going to be reviewing some tips to help you have a smooth real estate transaction. Now, no transaction is completely smooth. There are some things that you can do to help the transaction go as smooth as possible though. Alright guys, so the first tip that I'm going to give you to help you have a smooth transaction in real estate is to find a realtor that you trust. If you do not trust the person you're working with to sell or buy a home, it is going to be really hard on you. You should get to know this person well enough to figure out if this is someone that you should trust. If you trust that person, everything will be a lot easier. Everything that is presented to you by this realtor will make sense to you, and you will trust that they have your best interest at heart. If you trust this realtor, you won't question whatever they're doing and stress yourself out over every single thing that's presented to you. It is really important that you work with somebody you trust. Alright, so next tip on my list is to make sure that you know what you want. Oftentimes when people want to sell their home or buy a home, they haven't discussed what they want for the outcome. If you're looking to sell, you need to know, what do you want the outcome to be? How fast are you looking to move? What are you going to do after you sell your home? There's so many things that you need to sit down and discuss with whoever is involved in this process. If it's only you that is responsible for all the major decisions, then of course just sit down and make a list for yourself. If it involves someone else, definitely sit down and talk to this person who is going to be involved in this process and make sure that both of you guys are on the same page. The next tip on my list is to set expectations. So setting expectations with each other, so whoever's making this decision with you, and also setting expectations for your realtor. So if you really enjoy getting updates frequently, or you love phone calls more than text messages, make sure that your realtor knows this. A lot of times we do interview people and ask them what is their best form of communication, and they will tell us, but make sure that whatever you tell your realtor, it is a true way to communicate and something that works for you. So if you are always at work and you just want to be texted, then we can do that too. Make sure that you're setting your expectations. Not only expectations for communication, but also what are you looking for in this realtor? Make sure that you are telling them exactly what you need. If you really need someone to help you find the best community for you, let them know. You can ask your realtor what school districts do they recommend. There's a lot of expectations that you may set for your realtor and anyone involved. So make sure that you know exactly what you need and you're communicating this. Communicating is a big piece in having a smooth transaction in real estate. Another big tip I have for people is to make sure that you read over everything that's given to you from the beginning. So with my buyers, I normally give them a book that does include sample contracts, sample disclosures, and it has a lot of information. Make sure that if the realtor took the time to give you this information, you're reading over it, especially sample contracts. Why is it so important that you read sample contracts from the beginning? The reason I like people to read them over is in the event that you don't understand a certain section or a page on the contract, you can call your realtor and say, hey, I don't quite understand this section. Can you go a little more into detail? So what the realtor will do is find an appropriate time during that day to call you back when they have a chance to actually sit down, look at the contract, and discuss it with you. It's probably better that you do this ahead of time, because the minute that you fall in love with the home, you're just going to be really overwhelmed. If you're reading the contract there for the first time when you're making an offer, it can become really stressful, and you don't want to start this beautiful thing, which is home ownership, being stressed out already because you're not understanding what you're reading. Most times it works like this. We go out, show you property, maybe we have another appointment after you, and then once we get to our desk, we're able to write an offer. Now, typically this ends up being towards the end of the day, and of course, guys, you have to be really considerate. Maybe it's dinner time and things like that, and so we're not exactly ready to answer the phone and sit with you for maybe 2 to 3 hours to discuss anything. If it's something we already went over and it's a minor question, then obviously, yes, we have 15 to 20 minutes to dedicate to you. Obviously, this is really important to you, so we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna be there for you and answer your questions, but we're definitely not going over the entire contract while we're trying to submit this offer on time. In real estate, time is money, and if you just blink, I promise you, sometimes when you just blink for a second just to think it through, it can be a really big mistake that you may regret. So you have to make sure that you're timely, you're submitting your offer on time, you're doing everything you can to possibly get this home that you fell in love with. Another big tip for having a smooth transaction is while you guys are out previewing property, it is really important that you keep notes on all the properties that you see. That way, in the event that you have to go back and you don't remember house A from house B and what was different, you go back to your notes, and typically this will remind you. So keeping yourself organized is also really important to keep you stress-free, relaxed, and have the smoothest transaction you could possibly have. Another tip I have is while you are under contract with a home, you should probably be checking your emails very frequently. So there's a lot of information that's going to be sent to you, so make sure that you are checking your emails in case any emails come in with really important information or something that you have to answer back to immediately. So checking your emails and making sure you're on top of it is going to help you have a smooth transaction as well. Another big tip that I try to give to my buyers and my sellers is don't get too ahead of yourself. If you have a good realtor, this realtor is going to give you a map and keep you on top of deadlines. So we typically address the most immediate things you have to do, and then once those items are completed, then we're going to tell you what is next. So don't get too ahead of yourself and try to cover everything that has to be done from the beginning. Normally we give you a to-do list that makes sense and gives you some kind of deadline, so those things have to be taken care of first so that you don't get overwhelmed. A lot of times, if you really need some help, it is okay to ask. So something like scheduling your inspection. You don't have time to do any of that, so you may ask your realtor, hey, can you call this inspector and set this up with the listing agent, making sure that the house is available for an inspection. Of course, this is our job, so we can help you with as much help as you want or as little help as you want. Some buyers and sellers actually love being hands-on and like to have control of what they're doing. So with those clients, we back off a little bit and we don't overwhelm them. But for some clients, they may need a little additional help, and we are fine doing that for you. On this topic of getting ahead of yourself, the next tip is not getting ahead of yourself by telling everyone you know that you bought a home. You don't officially own the home until everything is closed, signed, and funded. I know it's very, very, very exciting when you go under contract, But a lot of things could happen, and you don't want to end up having to explain everything to everyone who is so excited about your purchase. Make sure that you are keeping the secret, and only the immediate family, the people that have to know what's going on, those people are on top of everything that's happening. I know we love telling our parents, so maybe that's okay too. So your mom and your dad, or anyone like that, a sibling that you're really close to, but try to keep it to a minimum. Don't go out and tell everyone you know that you bought a home. I have seen in the past that my clients fall in love with a home. They make an offer, they go under contract, and then they tell this one person who may have some feedback that kind of discourages you. Don't forget, you made this decision for yourself and your family, and you were really comfortable with this decision. So don't let anyone else's feedback affect you. A lot of times you can avoid all that by just keeping it a secret to yourself, and once you're a complete owner, then they can say whatever they want, but you're really happy with what you did. So keeping things as smooth as possible is the goal, and the next tip will definitely help you. While you're under contract, make sure you continue saving for your closing costs, for future things that may happen now that you're a homeowner. Keep saving your money. Don't go out and get new credit cards or charge anything new on the current credit cards you have. Don't go closing credit cards or doing any kind of big movements. Always ask the people involved, so your loan officer, your realtor. Ask any of us for anything you may think about doing and you don't know if you should or should not. That will help you have a really smooth transaction, because when you do things that you shouldn't have done, it complicates everything, and we try our best to save the deals, but a lot of times we're not able to. We definitely don't want to risk possibly losing the home, so make sure that you're reaching out to everyone that's on your team. Alright guys, another tip for today is if you are under contract and you're trying to purchase a home, or you're in the process of looking for a home, or you're selling your home, whatever it is, don't put your life on hold because of this, because then you'll stress yourself out. So if you already had some kind of family vacation or anything major like that planned, move forward with these plans. Just make sure that you tell us, and if any dates need to be moved around, we would love to help you with that. But don't put your life on hold and just cancel every meeting you had, any family party you may have, or a vacation. Make sure that you keep things kind of calm, and actually this will help you release some stress from buying a home or selling a home, which can be really stressful. Keep your plans as you have them and don't panic. Alright guys, so the last tip I have for today is beware of cold feet. So just like getting married, some people do experience getting that cold feet, and in real estate we call it buyer's remorse. So go back to that day when you decided, I love this home, I want to make an offer on this home, and remember why you made that decision. That way you can kind of ease the stress of getting that buyer's remorse or cold feet. Don't forget guys, there's always a solution. Just like when you get married, I know divorce is terrible, but it's an option. If it doesn't work out, then you go ahead and make your decision, divorce the person, and move on with your life. Very similar is when you purchase a home. If you decide that you don't love it, you regretted your decision, you can always put your home on the market, sell it, and move on to the next big thing. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I cannot wait to see you on my next video next Monday. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos just like this.